Hey, yo, what's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? This is your only friend in these Twitter streets, your boy Porter Rock 77. And thank you for tuning in to the live show. Man, I appreciate y'all dudes rocking out with me. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all showing up live. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody out here. All right. Sorry for keeping you waiting, just making sure everything is set up and all that. Just trying to make sure, everything, the internet, whatever, is all that. Since this is a last minute, impromptu to Puerto Rock Live, everybody out here, the Four Horsemen, SS9, my man Lionel B, Simply out here, you know, what is it? Esfayenta? Man, y'all really test my reading skills up in here. Overdone, what's going on? Alex, what's up? Rich, what's good? Tachyon, good seeing you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you everybody for showing up. Who else we got out here? Brandon, Red Hood, Ice Queen Gaming, Jemiah Dixon, the Nailbat, Lay, Envy. You know what I'm saying? What's up? We got Spider Silver, Savage, Ryan's up in here, Baby D, Kazuma, Crossfire, Loco is up in here, Omar, MC Leonidas, Muzi, you know what I'm saying? Tekken God, everybody showing up, everybody, I appreciate everybody coming up here. I'm gonna try to get to it real quick. I'll try to get up in here. How many people we got up here? We got 43 watching. If you don't mind, retweet this link out. Get everybody up in the chat. Let's try to get everybody live. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about the recent news that we got. All right. But before we get to the thing, obviously, let me do a couple of things here. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me do a couple of things here. All right. Hit that like button, of course. Show the people that you like the content. All right. Let me pop out the chat real quick. All right. Because I got to pop it out first. Then I'm going to share my screen. All right. We're going to do this right. And we're going to talk about it. Hold on. Let me do this first. Let me see. Let me enlarge this. Okay. Make sure this is visible. Might be visible. I'm going to read it anyway. Let me share my screen. Let me set this up nicely for y'all. All right. Click on my name. Here we go. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me un momento, because this is all part of the entertainment. All right. But we got to cut the bullshit out. We got to cut some BS. We got to tell some truth. All right. So give me a second. Here we go. Yeah, hide this thing right here. Okay. And there we go. All right. So we should be seeing that. And let me pop out the chat real quick. I don't want to make this up. There we go. There we go. Let me pop out the chat. And here we go. And boom, we got Oscar Gonzalez with a $20 super chat. Man, thank you, my brother. Gracias, pana. Yo, I truly appreciate that. Damn. I truly appreciate that, man. You didn't ask a question, but, thank you so much, for that super chat. Thank you so much for supporting. So everybody sees the screen right here. All right. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody showing up. Again, shout out to the sponsors. Here we go. So we're gonna talk about this. All right. All right. Here we go. We're gonna talk about this. All right. My man said, "Tip, whose truth? Your truth. Stop lying to people. Stop lying. You haven't been paying attention. You don't know what my channel's about. Post up. Niggas can't read a press release, so they're depending on this for, you know what I'm saying? For understanding. That's because post up, you goddamn bots talking shit that they don't know what they're talking about. Now, apparently, Sony's a goddamn developer for Microsoft. Shut your flat earth thinking ass up. Nah, my man, shout out for post up, man. Man, my man post up out there. My man doing the Lord's work for Xbox out here. Oh, let me do a couple of things right here. Fuck. Where am I at? Let me do something here real quick. Because, yeah, all right, cool. I just want to make sure I'm not using up the bandwidth. Oh, my man post up out here. But shout out to post up. Hey, happy belated birthday, man. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you judge birthday, because usually every day the earth spins, you know, on a 24-hour rotation. But since the earth is flat, how you judge time and shit, I don't know, man. You're going to have to teach me on that one, Post Up. Now, shout out to Post Up, man. Good peoples out there. Check out his shit, man. My man doing good shit, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the one thing I want to say. If you haven't noticed, I rock out with a lot of Xbox dudes, and we have this little private chat in DMs and we talk shit all day. Tim Dog, whatchamacallit, Dirt, Zaire, Post Up, Maslin. Fuck, there's so many people up in there. Myself, you know what I'm saying? There's so many people up in there. You know what I'm saying? Nintendo dudes, we have all this. And the reason why it's like that is because in the end, it's not about the console while we rock. We don't judge our friendship between, oh, you like this box. That doesn't even make sense to cultivate friends over plastic boxes. That concept, like none of us, whatchamacallit, even understand that concept. Yeah, you see us on Twitter talk shit, but we understand that's all part of the entertainment, part of our channels, part of our persona, and you all enjoy that shit. Sometimes we start shit, we start shit, and then you guys take over. You understand what I'm saying? Like I make a tweet, and boom, everybody in the community is all up in there. Post Up makes a tweet, boom, everybody's up in there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's having fun. You understand what I'm saying? And we do that because it's all just bullshit and it's just talking shit. You understand what I'm saying? But some dudes out here, they really judge their friendships or who they talk to, who they want to collaborate based on the needs of the plastic or the consoles. And that shit's just crazy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit's just weird to us, But in the end, I'm glad I met these cool dudes. I'm glad I was able to meet Post Up through the Broadband Bully. Nitos. Nitos was cracking my jaw yesterday or last 2 days. I'm going to get that motherfucker. Don't worry. Wait till these PlayStation games come to Xbox. I'm going to have these motherfuckers run. All right? No, but shout out to Post Up and everybody, the Broadband Bullies and all them, all right? So everybody's up in here. So now we got to talk, all right? So, what is it, Thursday? Microsoft released a press release. You see it on the screen right now, right? Everybody sees the screen, right? I shared it. Hit the number 1 if you see the screen with the Microsoft press release. I just want to make sure everything's set up right. Anyway, so Microsoft made a press release talking about collaboration with Sony and Microsoft, right? And of course, Nitos was the first one. Sometimes I think Nitos get this shit first before anybody else because he tagged my ass real quick, and we have fun with it. He's out there throwing trash on receipts, and then I'm out there, talking my shit and all that stuff, and that's all it is. It's just shit talking between, people, between our community, and everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's all involved in shit, and everybody's having fun with the shit, right? Okay. But now people are taking the shit talking and they're slowly putting it on their podcasts, on YouTube, and they're having serious conversations. So they're taking shit talking and trying to turn it into a serious outlook. And that shit's not good for gaming. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for people talking shit, but if you read the press release, you should be able to understand what's happening. If you're trying to be serious about the situation. But apparently, I don't even think people even bothered to read the press release. They just saw the title and they ran with it, which makes no sense. If you're going to talk about something in a serious manner, you got to read the information, all right? But apparently a lot of people ain't doing that, all right? So we're gonna address it right here. We're gonna talk about it. All right. Again, this isn't me talking shit on Twitter. This is actually looking at the press release for what it is, and we're gonna talk about it for seriously. All right. So here it is from the Microsoft.com website: Sony and Microsoft to explore strategic partnership. Companies to collaborate on new cloud-based solutions for gaming experiences and AI solution. All right. So I'm gonna scroll down as we go down. Right here, the 2 people you see shaking hands is Kenshiro Yoshida. He is the president and CEO of Sony Corp. So this is the man for Sony Corporation as a whole. And you got Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft. So you got the 2 big heads who run their companies and everything in it. So this is beyond gaming and everything. This is everything. This is everything that they do. Tokyo, Redmond, Washington, May 16, 2019. All right. Let me bring back the chat on the screen. Okay, here we go. All right. So it says right here, Sony Corporation and Microsoft. announced on Thursday that the two companies will partner on new innovations to enhance customer experiences in their direct-to-consumer entertainment platforms and AI solutions. Under the memorandum of understanding signed by the parties, the two companies will explore joint development of future cloud solutions in Microsoft Azure to support their respective game and content streaming services. In addition, the two companies will explore the use of current Microsoft Azure data centers based solutions for Sony game and content streaming services. By working together, the companies aim to deliver more enhanced entertainment experiences for their worldwide customers. These efforts will also include building better development platforms for the content creator community, right? So from first that first part there, right? Nothing in that sentence talks about Sony paying, or any shit like that, or now Sony's making games for xCloud. None of that is in there. All right, nothing's in there. All right. So far, what we got is them two are collaborating together. All right, exploring future cloud solutions together. Now, when you think about it, you got Microsoft Azure, which is possibly maybe the biggest cloud data centers in the world. Maybe. I can't really tell because I haven't been tracking Amazon, so I don't know how big they are, but it's huge, right? And then Sony has their Gaikai service, which is nowhere near as big as everyone else's. But again, Sony didn't buy Gaikai for enterprise Sony business. They just bought it specifically for PlayStation, right? But the two are in partnership, right? And both will explore development future cloud solutions in Microsoft Azure, all right, to support respective game and content streaming services, all right? Okay. That's the deal so far between them two. Nothing so far about game relationships in terms of, direct making games for one platform or the other. Now, I know I talk shit on Twitter about it, say, oh, look, whatchamacallit, Gears is coming to PlayStation. I was just doing that to antagonize because, again, on Twitter, everybody was talking shit about how God of War is going to be on xCloud. So I was just clapping back. That's just me talking shit. Here, I'm just being the truth. None of this talks about if Xbox is going to come to PlayStation or PlayStation games going to come to Xbox. Nothing says that in there, right? Continuing on. As part of the memorandum of understanding, Sony and Microsoft will explore collaboration in the areas of semiconductors and AI. So now you're talking about stuff beyond gaming and stuff. For semiconductors, this includes potential joint development of new intelligent image sensor solutions. By integrating Sony's cutting-edge image sensors with Microsoft Azure AI technology in a hybrid manner across cloud and edge, I don't know what edge is, but across cloud and edge. So edge is something. But anyway, as well as solutions that leverage Sony's semiconductors and Microsoft cloud technology, the companies aim to provide enhanced capabilities for enterprise customers. In terms of AI, the parties will explore incorporation of Microsoft advanced AI platform and tools in Sony consumer products to provide highly intuitive and user-friendly AI experiences. So now they're bringing up lenses and semiconductors. So this is beyond gaming. You know what I'm saying? When I think of lenses, I think of cameras and all that stuff. Who knows what else Sony and Microsoft is collaborating to create? I mean, when you think about it, when you think of AI, semiconductors, lenses, this is far beyond gaming. I mean, you could be talking about, I don't know, radars, medical applications, sensors, security, cameras, video technology. You could be talking about a whole slew of topics. And again, as you saw from the beginning of the image, we're talking about two of the main bosses of the respective companies. It's not like you saw Yoshida and Phil Spencer shaking hands, because then you will know that would be a gaming-centric deal. You're talking about the two heads of the entire company. And here you clearly see they're talking about things beyond console gaming. Oh, someone brought up the browser. That's a good point. Yeah, because Microsoft browser is called Edge. Good point. Shout out to that point. Who the fuck? That just came back. I just saw that right now, and the screen just flew by. Edge is Microsoft. Yeah, Post Up. Shout out to Post Up. Yeah, Edge is Microsoft browser. So good point. All right, next thing. All right. Here you go. Sony is a creative entertainment company with a solid foundation of technology. We collaborate closely with a multitude of content creators that capture the imagination of people around the world. And through our cutting-edge technology, we provide the tools to bring their dreams and vision to reality, said Kenshiro Yoshida, president and CEO of Sony. PlayStation itself came about through the integration of creativity and technology. Our mission is to seamlessly evolve this platform as one that continues to deliver the best and most immersive entertainment experiences together with a cloud environment that ensures the best possible experience anytime, anywhere. For many years, Microsoft has been a key business partner for us. That's an important note for many years, right? Though, of course, the two companies have also been competing in some areas. I believe that our joint development of future cloud solutions will contribute greatly to the advancement of interactive content. Additionally, I hope that in the areas of semiconductors and AI, leveraging each company's cutting edge technology in a mutually complementary way will lead to the creation of new value for society. Now, the next one says Sony has always been a leader in both entertainment and technology, and the collaboration we announced today builds on history of innovation, said Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Our partnership brings the power of Azure and Azure AI to Sony to deliver new gaming and entertainment experiences for customers. Going forward, the two companies will share additional information available. Now, I like the part where it says Sony gaming and entertainment, because technically that includes movies and lenses and AIs. You know, a lot of movies have, computer technology behind it, especially, like movies like, Endgame, whatever. Not saying that that belongs to Sony, but there's a lot of movies that deals with that, with AI and stuff like that, right? So that could be a big part. And two, that could be Microsoft's way of getting into the entertainment industry. Think about that. Sony has a huge foothold in entertainment in terms of movies. This could be Microsoft's way of inserting Azure into Hollywood through Sony. Smart move on Microsoft, getting that movie money. That's a possibility. But anyway, as you can see here, the keynote I want you to take to understand, for many years, Microsoft has been a key business partner for us. So misinformation number one that people are spreading. That people came up to me saying, Microsoft making money for Sony. Did you ever think that would happen, Porter Rock? Right? Misinformation number one is Sony has always been giving Microsoft money in terms of helping them make games. All right? You got Simply Gone, which is owned by Microsoft. Sony pays for those services for their games. You got PlayFab, another service Sony pays as part of their games. You got Havoc. A lot of Sony games, if not almost all of them, use Havoc, right? For the development of their games. None of this is new in terms of, one company supporting the other company. All right. What you got to understand is Sony's using PlayFab, Simply Gone, Havoc, and now Azure doesn't take away from their PlayStation consoles. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Sony's gonna go, oh shit, Microsoft owns Havoc. Fuck that. We're not gonna pay for Havoc now because Microsoft owns it. We're just gonna spend millions and millions of dollars to create our own. They're not gonna do that. There's no reason. If Microsoft is willing to offer all these services to the industry, then the industry has no problem using it because it doesn't devalue or take away from their platform. It's a mutual relationship. Now, with Azure, with the use of Azure, right? Everybody's like, Sony using Azure, right? Let's say because the big misinformation is Sony bent the knee, and now Microsoft controls Sony because Sony's using Azure. Well, let me ask you this: if that is your mentality, right? If Sony is paying Microsoft to use Azure, then how is Microsoft in control if Sony's the customer? Since when is the customer the one being controlled? Wouldn't the logic mean if I'm paying you, if the consumer is paying the service provider, is the consumer that's in charge? So let's say if you, in a lot of examples, right? You take your car in for repairs, or you're paying for your house to get built. You're telling me those people are in charge? They're going to tell you what to do? Or you're going to tell them what to do based on what you're paying them for? If you're going to get a pool built in your backyard, the pool people are in charge? They're going to tell you how the pool's going to look like, whatever? Or you're going to tell them, hey, this is what I want to pay for. And the company agrees, but like, okay, cool. This is what you want to pay for? We'll do it. You're the customer. You understand what I'm saying? Even that logic doesn't even make sense if it was strictly a consumer person buying and paying for the other one. All right. Doesn't really make sense. But here's the reality of the situation, right? Using Azure, and I remember saying this 2 years ago on the multiplayer podcast, right? When Azure was being first talked about, and everybody's saying, "Oh, Xbox got Azure power, whatever." I told people Azure doesn't fall under the Xbox division. It's a separate division. Phil doesn't control Azure. The person who controls Azure, that's his responsibility, and that division is bigger than Xbox Gaming. They're gonna put Azure wherever they want, and they're not gonna go through Phil for permission. You understand? It's a reality, you know. Now, the serious part, I know I've been trolling on Twitter, but this doesn't mean Xbox games is gonna go on PlayStation. I just use that for trolling. Now, I still believe Xbox is gonna go on PlayStation, but not because of this. Because again, Azure is a separate division. It doesn't belong to Xbox. It doesn't belong to Phil. He doesn't control that. He doesn't make the decision on who gets to use Azure or whatever. That's not how it works. All right. Right now, Sony and Microsoft, people say why are they collaborating? Are they afraid of Google? Are they afraid of Amazon? I don't think it's any of that. I don't think it has anything to do with fear. Again, Sony and Microsoft have been working together in different projects for decades. When Sony used to make computers and laptops with their Vio series, what was the operating system in there? It was Windows. You know what I'm saying? And they continue to have a relationship. Again, I just mentioned some of the things they've been using for Microsoft for years. Right? I told you in my last podcast, these people are friends. They go to the same yacht clubs. They go to the same parties. They all know each other. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless of what we do on the comp side, they all know each other. Right? There's just no bending a knee between other two companies. And I've been saying Microsoft wants a bigger foothold in the industry, right? But they want it by providing services to everybody. I've been saying this. Microsoft wants to provide a wide net and try to get their foot in the door and everybody. They want to treat Xbox, they want to treat their gaming division no different than their other divisions. Who out there want to use our services? Who out there wants our product? We will sell it to you. That's what they want to do. And be honest, that is actually what they're successful at. They are successful at making sure they have their foot in something, right? Now, my man, shout out to Craig Harris. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, told you 16 Phil that Google got him shaking. I don't think they got him shaking at all, to be honest. You know, I know some people are giving hype to Google. I understand that, but I ask people, okay, so what games you want to play on Google? Well, they're like, oh, well, we're going to play some multiplats. I'm like, really? Really? So you're going to switch platforms because of Madden? Really? Really? You know what I'm saying? I'll say this. I say that to say this, all right? This is clearly also a relationship that's going to go beyond gaming. Like, what does semiconductors and camera lenses have to do with PlayStation? Unless they're trying to bring back Connect 3.0 or whatever, it's clearly more than just, they're looking at a bigger picture. And now, as I'm talking to you guys, movies is a legit segment too that could benefit from this. The movie industry can benefit from Azure servers and stuff like that, and the things they do in the movie industry, right? And Sony has a huge foothold in the movie industry with their cameras and stuff like that. That's all. That's another aspect of that. And then, of course, there's the other aspects of, medical, science, defense contracts, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that could involve servers, AI, semiconductors. I mean, the technology world, the doors are open on all that across, right? But the reality is, with the strategic thing, there's a lot of things that this article is not saying that people on other podcasts are saying, right? So now let's talk about the next misinformation about, oh, this proves Puerto Rico were wrong about PS Now and all that shit. Well, I'm going to show you something else. Okay? Everybody sees the screen, right? You see PlayStation Now, PlayStation Library games. This right here was 2014, okay? You see all the things that was talked about in 2014. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, televisions, tablets, smartphones, and the Vita. Right? So Sony always had the intention to put PlayStation Now on every device. Right? They even started it that way. Farag, did you buy Days Gone? Yes, I did. I have it. Right? They even started that way, but they had to peel it back and minimize it to just PlayStation 4 and PC. So PlayStation Now is not on every device, but it's on more than one device. And one of those devices is now owned by PlayStation. It's PC, right? My point is not PS Now. My point has never ever been PS Now beyond every device. Okay? That's what everybody's trying to say is my point for whatever reason. That has never been my argument because it was already done, it was already being talked about. Okay? My point is PS Now for the foreseeable future, and I will say, because I'm gonna go as far as next gen with the PS5, PS Now will not be an alternate option over the PlayStation 5. All right. Based on what Sony said right now, based on how Sony's treating PlayStation Now, it is not an alternate option, regardless of where you could play PlayStation Now. If you put PlayStation Now on everything right now, let's pretend PlayStation Now is on tablets and whatever device you're going to name the device, let's pretend it's on it right now. You don't have access to Spider-Man. You don't have access to God of War. You don't have access to Day Gone. None of the MLB The Shows on there. There is a lot of exclusives that is not on PlayStation Now. And not only that, there's a lot of multiplats that are on PlayStation 4 that's not on PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now doesn't have Devil May Cry, Anthem, Destiny, Red Dead Redemption 2 for anyone who likes that dog shit game. You know? None of those games are on PlayStation Now. So if you go out and be like, you know what? I'm not going to I'm going to get rid of my PlayStation 4 and I'm going to go with PlayStation Now for my primary way to play, you're going to be sorely disappointed because there's a lot of games you're not going to get to play. You know what I'm saying? A lot of games that you're not going to get to play. PlayStation Now is not nowhere near a good option to replace PlayStation hardware. Okay. So the key information that you got to see from Sony, maybe during the PlayStation 5 reveal, whatever, is how they're going to treat PlayStation Now here on forward. Not just simply saying, oh, we're going to put PlayStation Now on every device. That doesn't mean anything. What the value behind PlayStation Now is what games is going to be available. How are you going to treat PlayStation Now? Are you going to put PlayStation Now at the forefront of gaming entertainment? Meaning, can I play these games day and date? That's the question for PlayStation Now. Putting PlayStation Now on tablet doesn't make the service good. It's still going to be trash. It's only more trash on more devices. But when you actually use it, you're going to be like, a lot of these games are old. And where the fuck are the big games? You're going to be going on your tablet playing PlayStation Now and you'll be like, where the fuck is Waldo? I don't see fucking God of War. Where is it? People are going to tell you it's not on PlayStation Now. And then you're going to look, then what's the fucking point of this service? To play PlayStation 3 games? That's the thing with PlayStation Now. Is that service a good option vice a dedicated console for Sony? You know? At this point right now, with the immense success PlayStation 4 has achieved, I don't think Sony's going to make that decision until they see how PlayStation 5 is. And if PlayStation 5 knocks it out of the park, no different than PlayStation 4, then they're not going to treat PlayStation Now that way because they don't have to, because PlayStation 5 is doing the job that it needs to do for their gaming division. Okay? That's what you guys have to consider, right? Now, some people say, oh, why are they going for Microsoft for help? My question is, why not? Again, Sony already used services from Microsoft. They're not trying to create their own. They're not going to create their own version of PlayFab. They're not going to create their own version of Simply Gone. They're not going to create a new physics engine for Havoc. There's no reason for them to. Microsoft got it. Microsoft's willing to lease it. They're going to use it. Microsoft's like, hey, Sony, you could use our service. Use it for your games, improve your network. You can't build your network fast enough to keep up with the users you're getting. Use ours. We got you. And Sony's like, cool. We'll take your service. Cool. Improve our network. Understand, Microsoft, from Microsoft perspective, this is not going to hurt their image because this is what they want to do. Right? Microsoft wants to support everyone in gaming because it's a win for them. They're not, I'm telling you right now, Xbox community, do not look for Microsoft to try to put their console as their number one priority, top of the spear. That's not how they're seeing things anymore. You know, you got to look at how they're going to treat their gaming division, no different than how they treat their Surface tablets Windows division. They have a Surface tablet, do they not? It's their exclusive hardware, right? But they're not keeping the software and services and everything that Surface offers exclusive to Surface. Everybody else could use it. Toshiba has it. Dell has it. They have all the things Surface can do. So, Dell, hybrid tablets can do also. Microsoft is not trying to say, let's keep our software exclusive to this platform for the sake of that individual hardware. They're not doing that. Everybody has access for it. They're doing the same thing for gaming. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to create, an environment where they're saying, don't get these products, get this one. They want in on everything because that's what makes them successful. They're more successful with you going out and let Dell and Toshiba fight it out. And no matter who wins between them two, you're buying Microsoft software productivity products. That's what they're doing. All right? Lionel, B. My man says, PR, I've been telling them they've been using PS Now to sell consoles. That's why it has old games. Then they can promote newer games on PS Now to bring people over to the console. That's a possibility, That's a good point. All I know is with PS Now, and I said this constantly, I personally think PS Now is not a good service. I mean, some people like it. I personally don't see an interest in PS Now. It doesn't have the games day and date. It doesn't even have the multi-class PlayStation 4 gets day and date. The quality of the service is dependent on your internet service provider. And if your internet goes out, you can't play nothing. Well, now PS4 has some PS4 games and some PS2 games, I guess, are digital download direct to the console. But I don't know what happens if the internet goes out. I never care for it. I really don't care for it. I really don't care for PlayStation Now. I never liked the idea. As I said from the start, I'd rather have Sony invested into more servers for the actual PSN network and make that better, provide dedicated service for games and multiplayers across the board than PS Now. But it is what it is. That's just my opinion on that. All right? Okay. The surge, 100 million can turn into 500 million users. You don't think Sony's aware of that? It won't happen via hardware alone. So let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this. Everybody keeps saying 2 billion gamers, and people believe that number, all right? So let me ask you this. Let's use Spotify. And I said this before, but let's use Spotify. Spotify is the most accessible app, period, in terms of entertainment and products. You can use Spotify on a smartwatch. Spotify is everywhere, right? And it's free. You can stream content for free. You don't have to pay a damn thing. It is literally a free app. There is no paywall behind it, right? Now pay attention. Not only is there no paywall, it is less intrusive to actually use it. You don't need 5G cellular internet to use Spotify. You don't even need 4G. 3G is good enough, right? 3G is completely good enough to stream Spotify. With 3G, you're good. Doesn't matter what internet service you got. You can have the cheapest internet service out there and you can stream Spotify on almost any device possible across smart TVs, Blu-ray players, consoles, mobile, tablets, smartwatches, whatever. Whatever's out there, Spotify's on it. All around the world, right? Very small files, easy to manage, easy to use. Spotify even gets exclusive content as compared to many other streaming apps. Many big artists put their albums day one on Spotify, and it's available to everybody. All right? Yet, with the most easiest accessible app in the world, it has around 500 million users worldwide. Spotify has about 500 million users worldwide, right? Now, keep in mind, this is possibly the most easiest application streaming service, period. Right? Now, compare that what it's going to take for gaming to do what Spotify does. You ain't using 3G to stream games. That's number one. Number two, you can't stream games to a damn smartwatch. That ain't happening either. So right off the bat, the infrastructure, and you're gonna be able to reach nowhere near the devices you can reach. The next thing, you have to pay to stream games. They're not gonna offer it for free. Spotify is free. So right off the bat, you're not gonna get those amount of consumers. So you need better infrastructure, limited devices compared to Spotify, and you have to pay to use these gaming streaming services as compared to Spotify, which is absolutely free. So you think gaming's going to get 500 million? You think gaming's going to pull the same amount of numbers Spotify does? An app that's less intrusive and free, and it's on more devices. Come on, bro. Here's the reality with gaming. Gaming is accessible for everyone. You cannot tell me a console is not accessible for people. A console right now is only $200. What's hilarious is the tablets and phones, everybody's saying, this is people, play games on. They're more expensive than a console. A lot of these tablets are more expensive than the consoles, right? So why aren't consoles selling 500 million, whatever? It's simple. Because a lot of the gamers out there don't like the games. That's all it is. You cannot tell me that there's some difficult barrier for somebody to simply go on their phone, pull up the Amazon app, and press buy and have a console delivered to their house. That's not a barrier. Going into Best Buy or Walmart is not a barrier to see, oh, look, a $200 console with a $50 gift card. That's not a barrier for anyone. There are people who will not buy these consoles, not because it is a console, it's because they're not interested the games offered. A lot of people play on phones because of the little bullshit games. The search says 400 to 500 is the barrier, bro. You could get a PlayStation right now for $200. Hell, 2 years ago, you could have gotten a PlayStation 4 with Uncharted for $250, 3 years ago, right? 2016, 2017, 3 years ago, Uncharted, a game packed in, plus a $50 gift card. All right? Tip name is 7,000 PSN don't compare to 9.5 Game Pass users. Get the fuck out. Tip Diamond, that 7,000 is PS Now. PS Now. PSN has over 100 million active users. Make sure you get your information right. Make sure if you're going to pull numbers, you get the right numbers. PSN has 100 million active users, over 90 million active users, more than Steam. Use the right numbers in comparison, all right? And to be honest, the 9.5 million subscribers wasn't mentioned by anybody. No one validated that number. All right. So JD Gamer Rock, let's talk about Spotify. Seeing that you brought it up, Spotify does have around 500 million users, but it does not support all languages. As a matter of fact, Spotify is not big in China. And does gaming support all languages? So let me put it this way. Again, if music has an issue, and this is music, we're talking music. If music has an issue, imagine gaming. Music is a lot easier to develop than gaming. Think about that. The intent is Spotify has a much easier capability to reach a higher audience than gaming ever will. Because the application is free. You don't need a powerful network to run it. And it's available on more devices than gaming would ever be available on. You know, chances are every device that gaming is on, Spotify is there. But not every device Spotify is on, gaming is there. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. Think about it that way. If you have a gaming device, chances are Spotify's on that sucker. But the opposite can't be said. Opposite is not true. Right? My point, well, I made this point, is how Sony's going to treat PlayStation now. Sony using Azure means multiple things. Obviously, we don't know the rest of the company, and to be honest, I don't really care what they do with the rest of the company. I really don't care about Sony TVs and lenses and cameras. I don't really care about that. None of that interests me. The only thing I really care about is PlayStation. So as far as PlayStation, Azure could leverage more than just cloud and PS Now. It could potentially, Sony could be like, hey, we're going to offer dedicated service because of Azure. That's a win for me. All right. Okay. JD Gamer, he's all right. He's just bringing up mad points. Puerto Rock, let's talk about barriers. Recently, the Switch outsold the PlayStation 4 lifetime numbers in Japan, not because of the games, but because of mobility. Cool. Now, since you like that numbers, I'm going to give you a task. If you really care, go look at the Japanese game charts. And despite Nintendo having more units out there than PlayStation 4, see who's actually selling more games on the charts. Is it the system with the most console sold, or is it the PlayStation 4? I'll let you figure that out yourself, right? And then when you see that answer, ask yourself, man, why is it like that? You know, that's all I'm going to say. Because a lot of people talking about Switch surpassed PlayStation, which is true. And Switch is a remarkable, hybrid. There's no doubt about that. It's a hot item out there. But look at where Japan's playing most of their games on. And you can see it through the sales on the individual platform. You'll see which game, like if you have a game on the Switch and a game on PlayStation 4, you can see from the Japanese charts where the Japanese gamers are buying their games. Just take a look at that and you'll see for yourself. All right? Okay. Tip. 2014, 2018, 36.8 million on PS Now. How'd that be Steam? All right. One, the 36 million is not PS Now, it's PSN. And that's subscriber numbers. Those are people who subscribe to PlayStation Plus. PSN overall has their own monthly active users, just like Steam says monthly active users. Because remember, PSN also has free internet that a lot of people don't have to pay for in order to play online. All right. The 38 million is PSN Plus, the subscribed service. The monthly active user is everybody. People who have PSN Plus and the people who don't have PSN Plus. Both of them combined. That means everybody who uses PlayStation Network. So you gotta use the right numbers. All right. Porter Rock, things that you want to minimize Game Pass, which is direct competitor for PS Now. Phil Spencer did validate millions of users for Game Pass, 700,000 users versus PS Now. Game Pass, we want to minimize this Game Pass, which is direct competitor for PS Now. All right, let's make this simple. Let's say Game Pass is a direct competitor of PS Now. Let's just get it out the way. Fine. Fuck it. Game Pass is better than PS Now. Fuck it. Let's just say that. So what? What does that mean? Does that mean the Xbox console is better than PlayStation 4 console? Does that mean Sony hasn't been pushing more exclusives? What's the point behind it? Are you even subscribed to PS Now? Because I'm not subscribed to Game Pass or PS Now. And to be honest, some of y'all are subscribed to Game Pass because it's $1. Let's be real about this. Some of y'all ain't really looking forward to paying $10, $15, whatever per month. Some of y'all got it because it's $1. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality. So, okay, fine. So Game Pass is better than PS Now. Okay. What's the point in this one? All right. What has Game Pass really offered y'all? Most of the time I see people talking about games they would never played, but they're only playing it because it's $1. That's not appetizing to me. Playing a game I never wanted to play only because it's $1 doesn't sound appealing to me as a gamer. I don't mind paying $60 if a game is quality. I'm not going to play a game simply because it's $1. Because no matter what, there's something more important than the dollar or the $60, and that's my time. I don't want to spend 10 hours on a shitty game simply because it only cost me $1. That's not appealing to me. Things like that don't appeal to me. I'll pay $60 for a quality game. Give me a quality game, and I'm going to pay the money for it. I don't care about paying $1 for that. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't really bother me. Okay. So that's just the reality for me. So I'll be honest, the Game Pass, PS Now war, I have no interest really in that because who gives a fuck in reality? More people. And here's another thing. This is the thing I noticed. Why is everybody so concerned about these services when in reality, these services have not really brought anything to the table other than PS Now? I don't think brought anything to the table at all. And the only thing I see from Game Pass is, oh man, we get a whole bunch of games for $1. And then when I look at the games, it's shit that I already owned or stuff I don't really care to play at all. So I don't see these services bringing anything to someone other than, I would say, other than people of low income who can't buy a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? That's about the only thing I could see of value. If you can't buy a lot of games, cool. You pay $1 and you play all these games because you're really not in a position to buy the games, and drop money on these games. That's the only thing I see. PS Now, I don't see anything. The only thing I could see closely is the PS3 backwards compatibility, only because it's not available natively on PlayStation. To which I'm not paying $10 a month to play games I already played last generation. And I still got my PS3. If I really wanted to play PS3 games, I can still play them if that's really what I want to do. I haven't unpacked my PS3 in years. You understand what I'm saying? JD, per the rock, seeing as though you brought up, let's talk about Xbox with an estimated 42 million users versus PlayStation with an estimated 97 million. You still makes more money per customer. I don't know how you got that number from when PSN by itself in 2018 made more money than the entire Xbox gaming division. So I don't know how you came up with that stat when it's already been cleared one segment of PlayStation, one segment, just one segment, PlayStation Network, just that part, not the console sale, not the physical sales, not the peripherals, not all the other stuff, just PlayStation Network by itself made more money than the entire Xbox division in 2018. So I don't know what math or numbers you're using, but you need to do better research. The numbers don't match of what you're saying. It doesn't make sense. I can't see how Microsoft makes more money yet still didn't make more money. That info, don't know. Go look it up. Just go to Google, type in PlayStation Network makes more money than Xbox Gaming Division. And you'll pull up the articles and you'll see the articles comparing the numbers Microsoft reported and the numbers Sony reported. And they're in the gaming industry, the gaming articles and news outlets, they compare two numbers and they're like, holy shit, PlayStation Network on its own made more money than Microsoft Gaming Division as a whole. I don't know where you're coming up with that from. That's all I'm saying. All right. But anyway, before we derail all this, the truth. The truth is this collaboration between Sony and Microsoft did not break down how Sony is going to treat PlayStation now in the future. It doesn't break down if Microsoft's going to make games for Sony. None of that information is in there. Nothing is in there. So all this misinformation and nonsense that you're getting from everybody else, none of that's in this thing. You know what I'm saying? None of that's in there. All that other stuff is made up. And what they're doing is, what these YouTubers are doing is, they're hoping you didn't read the article. So that way they can feed you this misconception. And then you guys are coming out there on Twitter talking about it. My suggestion is read the article yourself. I'm going to post a link. You see here, I'm going to post a link in the description box. Just read the article yourself. A lot of people are throwing in a whole bunch of information that doesn't apply to this article. Right? None of this is talking about who's making games for a while, whatever. Right? None of this. It's two companies looking for their own self-interest to put out the best entertainment and the best technologies in a mutual agreement. You understand what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. And that's all we got. Okay? That's all the reality is. Okay? That's all the information you got. Anybody else trying to convince you otherwise, they're just pretty much caping for their favorite plastic. And it always bites them in the ass because the truth always comes out eventually. So I don't know why people cape or provide misinformation on things they don't need to. Just look at what the companies are doing, and then that's it. All right? But anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. I appreciate you guys rocking out with me. This is pretty much the truth, the facts, versus the bullshit misinformation you're getting. It's just a simple collab between two companies, and they're going to enhance together cloud technology, AI technology, semiconductor technology, lenses. So it's a whole slew of technology across multiple industries between the two heads of the entire company. And that's all we got from this. Everything else is everybody's putting in their own spin for the sake of trying to make their preferred brand look better. That's pretty much all it is. Nothing in this article validates or adds extra information that they're saying. That's all you got, all right? We'll see how it goes. We'll see what's said in the future. Me personally, I hope Sony eventually announces dedicated servers for PlayStation Network. I think if there's a paid network, which I think is a shitty concept in the first place, paying for online. But if you're going to pay for online, let's keep improving it. Let's add more shit to it. Let's add dedicated servers. That's just my thing. I think that's the right thing to do. Some people may agree, some people don't agree. It is what it is. All right. But anyway, this is your only friend in these YouTube streets. Your boy, Porter Rock 77. Let me Stop the presentation. Thank you for rocking out with me in this last minute impromptu podcast. All right. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell so you can get future notifications as I preach the truth to all you gamers out there. All right. To my friends, my family, and fellow gamers, enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna do 1, 2 things. My wife took a nap. I'm gonna try to wake her up and see if we could keep watching Game of Thrones. If she tells me shut the fuck up, I'm stay asleep. Then I'm gonna go play Days Gone. So we'll see what are the 2 things I'm gonna be able to do. Game of Thrones, and yes, I'm on season 3 because I started late. But yo, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna just say this. I don't know how y'all motherfuckers could do it. Yeah, yo, this show is fire. And y'all dudes had to wait year over year to get the next episode. I can't do it. My man Tip, stop hiding for multiplayer. Listen here, motherfucker. I'm in Germany. Multiplayer podcast is at 2 in the morning. I can't do that shit no more on a Thursday. That shit, I can't do it. I can't be up 2 in the morning on a Thursday. Right? When I'm back in the States or if I get days off on Friday, I'll show up. But that's about it. I can't go on a multiplayer podcast 2 in the morning to hear Baron's bullshit? Hell nah. Hell nah. I can't. I don't even do my own podcast anymore. If you notice, I haven't been done 60 frames because the podcast on my time used to be at 1:30 in the morning or 2:30, 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So where's your podcast again for Tanga? So we originally scheduled it for a Sunday, but his family ended up doing, I think his birthday was Monday. So his family threw his party on a Sunday. So he sent me a message and says, hey, I can't do it because his family throwing a birthday party. Can we do it the following Sunday? But I'm like, the following Sunday is Easter Sunday. Can't do it on them. You understand what I'm saying? Can't do it on Easter Sunday because I'm going away and whatever. And then the week after, I was traveling on work. So I was gone the whole week. So me and Fratanga's like, it's been 3 weeks. It's really no point in doing a podcast now on a fucking old topic to that. So it's no, Fratanga's not dodging. He celebrated his birthday. And then the following week, it was Easter, and then the following week, like a week and a half, I've been traveling on work and stuff like that. So I wasn't at home to do anything on Sundays, whatever, and that's just how it is. It just didn't happen. And then, so much time went by, the heat of the moment is just really, it's not really a point, whatever, As you notice, I'm not even talking about Epic or Steam as much because it's old news and it is what it is. Thing is, whatever. But anyway, Game of Thrones is fucking fire. I don't know how you guys just stood year over year waiting for this shit. That shit would have drove me nuts. God, that show is so good. So goddamn good. And I'm just watching it back to back to back. I can't help it. But anyway, boy Porter Rock 77, I'm glad you rocked out with me. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Y'all take care. Keep it gaming. Enjoy your games. And I hope you all have a safe weekend. All right? Peace. Oh, shit.